A pair of yucca sandals worn smooth from miles of travel. A flute, silent now, but its sounds once echoed through the canyons. Bone tools carved with the same precision a modern craftsman would envy. These objects left behind survived. The people, they walked on. At the edge of the cedars, the past doesn't feel dead. It only feels paused, like mid-sentence, waiting for someone to finish the story. Hey everyone, welcome back to another Chaco Sunrise adventure. Today's adventure is checking out the edge of the Cedars Museum here in the American Southwest. There's a lot of flash flood warnings, and so I've just decided to stay out of the canyons, obviously, to be safe. And I wanted to show you this beautiful museum and the artifacts that it has inside, go over a little history, and just enjoy the day. It's beautiful out right now. It's cloudy, but there's a lot of flash flood warnings, so we're just going to take it easy today and learn more about this ancient culture that once thrived here in Southeastern Utah. Thanks for coming. Let's go check it out. So jumping right in, we are in a kiva that's located just behind the museum. It's an ancient Anasazi or ancestral Puebloan site that's been excavated, and they allow you to go into the kiva. So let's take a look. Wow, you can still see the plaster on the wall. So this one's been excavated, but it's really in good shape. So, such a beautiful thing to be able to experience this and be inside this sacred place. Let us walk through these halls with respect, because every artifact here is a heartbeat. Every pot, every stone, every arrowhead, every grain of sand is a part of a story that's still unfolding. The story of the ancient Southwest begins long before the kivas and great houses, before the potsherds and petroglyphs, before the ruins that now sit silent under the desert sun. Here at edge of the cedars, every room, every artifact, every shard of clay is part of a timeline thousands of years long. A story written not in words, but in stone, wood, and memory. When we talk about the ancestral Puebloans, what many call the Anasazi, we aren't talking about a single moment. We're talking about eras, lifeways that rose, changed, and faded like the light of a sunrise. People have been living in this region for over 13,000 years, back when they hunted mammoths, and the flora and fauna looked much different than it does today. The archaic period is 8,000 BC to 500 BC. The archaic people were nomadic. Their families walked the land when the last mammoths had only recently disappeared. They carried the ancient knowledge of how to survive in a harsh and beautiful world. They moved with the seasons, followed game, gathered seeds, and left only faint traces of their passing. Flakes of stone, a hearth, a point chipped by hand. From them came the foundation, the knowing of this land, and how to thrive within it. Then came a new way of life, the basketmaker culture.
The people began to stay longer in certain valleys because now the land provided more than wild seeds. It provided corn. These early farmers built pit houses half buried in the earth. They wove baskets tighter than any pottery yet to come, and they watched the sky because the sky told them the seasons. It told them when to plant and when to harvest. In time, the people changed again. They made something new. Pottery. At first plain, then decorated with designs that still echo through the museum today. They crafted bows and arrows for the first time in this region. Villages grew, families grew, stories grew. I think this has to be one of the coolest artifacts I've ever seen. Arrowheads still attached to yucca cord a hunter would have brought with them long ago. I actually visited the site that these came from a while back. Here's a short video of the ruin that this artifact actually came from. By about AD 750 to 1100, the Pueblo times, the landscape had transformed. This was the world of towers, of above-ground homes, of kivas dug deep with purpose. This is the era when communities spread across mesas and canyons, linked by miles of roads, trade routes, and ceremonies. Cornfields stretched across the desert. Pottery became art, black on white designs, corrugated textures, bold symbols that spoke to identity and belief. During this time, the culture reached north, south, east, and west. Deep in the heart of it all, Chaco Canyon rose. The Chaco world was somewhere around AD 900 to 1150. Chaco was not just a city, it was a vision. There were massive great houses, astronomical alignments, roads carved with precision, not like the modern roads that we use. They didn't have the wheel back then. Trade goods from as far away as Mesoamerica. People traveled hundreds of miles to gather in its plazas, to share ceremonies, to honor something greater than themselves. The Chaco world touched this place too. Edge of the Cedars was part of that network, a meeting place, a village, a link in a chain of culture stretching across the four corners. This macaw feather sash was actually found in Canyonlands by a man who was hiking, and a flash flood was coming, so he hiked up into a cave and he sat down. He noticed when he sat down that it was really soft, and just under the dirt was this macaw feathered sash. He brought it to the museum so that everyone can enjoy it now. But these feathers would have been sourced all the way from Mexico, the Yucatan Peninsula. Such a beautiful artifact. By the time what is now called by archaeologists the Pueblo III and the Great Departure, AD 1150 to AD 1300, the rhythm had changed. Drought had tightened its grip, conflicts rose, and growing populations strained the land. Slowly, families began to leave. They migrated south to what would one day become the Hopi Mesas, the Zuni Pueblos, the Rio Grande villages. The stone walls were left behind, but the people were not lost. Their descendants are alive today. Their ceremonies continue. Their stories still rise like dawn over this land. Edge of the Cedars is more than a museum. It is a voice of the past, a reminder that entire civilizations once watched this same sunrise, walked these same mesas, and shaped a world that still echoes through every canyon in the Southwest. I hope you enjoyed this video and seeing these beautiful artifacts from a beautiful people. If you're ever in the area, make sure to give Edge of the Cedars a visit. They have some of the most amazing ancestral Puebloan artifacts in the world. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time, somewhere outside.